wonder what he's doing there. That motion.
Oh.
What are we watching?
I think we're having a chicken sandwich part 2.
Oh, the camera's on.
Why is my camera still on?
What?
Yeah, people were saying he was like jerking off.
Now recording.
If they just check the cameras and they see where his 600-pound person was in the nearby vicinity, a pretty good shot you're going to jail.
Yeah, but then you still got to prove it happened.
I'm going to
Actually-
provide no context and leave it in the episode.
The fluid was mostly lard.
Jeez. Can you describe him only by
You
smell
think
like the bacon?
you think I shoved a stick of butter in my coochie? Nuh-uh.
Oh no!
The thing is, I'm focused on getting the links to Beckett, so I have no idea what you guys are even talking about.
No, we're talking.
Guys, can,
And
like
butter.
we gotta like start like establishing rules when we can't like talk about stuff like this in the first like 5 minutes, you know, to make it
Talking
easier
about-
on
we
the
were-
editor.
We were talking about butter and crumpets.
All right.
Crumpets and cream.
Me.
But the
Oh,
cream's
jeez.
there unconsensually.
All right. So, Beavers, what is your opinion, or who is Nick Rekieta?
Nick Rekieta, better known as Rekieta Law, is an American YouTuber who makes comedic yet informative videos about legal topics while drinking heavy amounts of alcohol. Nick is a lawyer in Minnesota and owner of Rekieta Law, who discusses legal topics and breaks lawsuits. I don't know what that means either. He analyzes law cases and also reacts to them. He also made series such as Rekieta Law Breakdown and Breakdown Maddox versus Dick Masterson, which had the words "lol suit" in the thumbnail. Shout out to D-Max. Yeah, and that's about all that I know.
Wait, so I thought
What did you read that from?
Yeah.
You piece of shit.
Wikitubia.
I thought you had like a funny bit. You were like, before we recorded, you were like, ask me who Nick Rekieta is. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it first because I thought, oh, Beavers is gonna have some funny thing to say. You just read Wikitubia.
I don't know who the man is, so I thought I'd inform myself, and
It was like a Siri
that's all they
response, you
said.
know?
That's all they said.
Hello everyone, welcome to Now Recording. My name's Matt Pitt. With me today, I have Toxic Piplup. Hello,
Doing great.
Toxic. Toxic. I introduced you first, so come on.
I thought it was a bit rude that you didn't introduce me first, but
I was saying,
know, you do you.
I had a whole thing. Toxic. Hello, welcome to Now Recording. My name's Matt Pitt, and with me today is not Toxic Piplup, Beckett of Crabs,
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
and also the most informative person of Nick Rekieta right now, Mr. Beavers McWood.
hello, people.
All right, so
Hi,
we're
I'm
going to-
Toxic Piplup.
Where the did he go? He was just talking like 2 seconds ago.
Did you
That's
message
gonna be a
us?
fucking banger episode. Fantastic.
All right, well,
Nick
so-
Rekieta.
So Nick Rekieta, we were talking
Hello?
about him on. Oh, there he is.
Oh, sorry, my dog broke into my room and I couldn't get him.
I introduced you first, dude. Look,
Yeah, my dog like literally
Okay.
barged in my room and he just laid down.
To be fair, depth perception, he does struggle with that. So I imagine it was quite a struggle figuring out where
okay.
exactly the dog was.
It's a husky
Right.
and he's like 80 pounds. Okay, I don't know what you want from me. There's only so much I can do.
okay,
All
right.
right, Nick Rekieta.
Nick Rekieta. We were talking about him on a live stream. We all saw the footage of him.
Hi,
being,
I'm toxic.
Thank you. We all saw the footage of him being drunk and weird and looking like he might be jerking off or getting a blowjob or something. Nick has been arrested. YouTube lawyer. This is gone completely.
Okay, you are roboting. Do you want to?
Okay,
do
thank
that
God. I
again?
thought that was my African internet.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So the YouTube lawyer Nick Rekieta has gone completely like viral, and there's articles written about him. YouTube lawyer Nick Rekieta, who shot to internet fame in the Depp Heard trial, is arrested along with wife for drugs, guns, and endangering kids. As cops say, he had white powder on nose and video. On the Johnny Depp Amber trial.
You're roboting again. Fuck me. Oh my god.
Okay, then you're gonna have to read this article because
Send me the article. Send me the
Yeah,
article.
Matt, where did you get your reading thing from? Since you had to rudely ask me about mine.
He told us before we started recording.
Oh, did he?
You guys robot
Yeah.
all the time, and I just ignore it. But me fucking roboting is such a
Can you
big
clear your
fucking
throat
deal.
too? Thank you. I like that sound.
A YouTube lawyer who rose to internet fame with his commentary on the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial has been arrested along with his wife on charges of owning guns, drugs, and endangering their 5 children. Nick Rekieta, 42, and his wife Kayla were arrested by police in Minnesota this week. Cops were led to their home by their videos, which officers say showed signs of drug use. Nicholas appeared to have lost weight, appears tired, and overall appears strung out, common with controlled substance users. Wrote Quinn Poplum. Is that? I've got no idea if that's how you pronounce that. A detective from how the fuck do I pronounce this county? Candy Ho?
I don't know. I can't see it because I canceled out of the website because you guys said I was
Candy Ho. We're gonna go with Candy Ho.
Is it Candy Ho?
Candy Oe.
Yeah, Candy Ho.
Candy
Candy
Ho.
Ho.
There we go. County Sheriff's Office. Police received a complaint about the pair on May 16th after their children told school teachers they were hungry. The kids say they were forced to wear unwashed clothes for days at a time and often went without meals. The police
We really
report
don't understand the struggle.
How often do you eat, Toxic?
Now or whenever I was a kid? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, fuck me.
Proceed.
I don't know why those kids complain, by the way. That's just like, if you're a kid in Africa, that's just a Tuesday.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Just like, flip your underwear inside out. Go wash up in the river and you're fine.
What
least they
third
still have
world
parents.
countries are you guys fucking living?
There are people in this world that don't have parents. All right? At least they still have parents. All right? Yes, they may be divorced, and yes, the dad may be an alcoholic and a drug abuser. But at least they still have them.
divorced. Their parents are still
But
married.
at least he's not abusing his
Oh,
wife.
I thought they were divorced.
No, they're swingers. They
Oh, okay, so that's why he's
people-
fucking the blonde.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
so,
that's-
like,
they're still married.
He hooked up. So there's this like radio DJ type podcaster who was like once a big radio comedian guy or something named Aaron Humolte. He's called Steel Toe Aaron or Steel Toe Morning Show.
Steel Toe
And-
podcast, yeah.
He began like interacting with Rekieta around what time, like earlier this year.
Yeah. This is all sort of culminated in the last several months.
Yeah, and it turned out like there were rumors that they were all swinging together because apparently Nick Rekieta had a history of doing this before, or there were rumors that he had been doing stuff like this in the past.
So, kind of, this all begins and goes back about a year when Nick started posting. Well, Nick's wife started posting on their locals thing, sort of what's described as lewd images.
Mm-hmm.
And that caught some attention because previously Nick's been kind of projecting this traditional family man, they homeschool their kids, they've got 5
Wholesome
of them.
Christian, that type of
Yeah. So it got a lot of attention when that happened. There was like comparisons to Jack Murphy, who was a red pillar running something called the Liminal Order, and
was like
turned out-
getting railed by his wife with a strap on or something, or
yeah, it was
something
like
that, right?
like whoring her out and shit, and there was like
Yeah.
pictures of him with the dildo up his ass and
Yeah.
shit, and that all blew up. And Nick took the piss out of it, so people were like, "Well, fucking hypocritical there, bro." So that's kind of where that all started. And then Nick's been drinking like right from the start. In fact, actually that wonderful summary from Beavers mentions,
Yeah, it even said it on the Wikitubia.
Yeah.
It even says there that he drinks a lot.
Well, like one of Nick's first videos, like the first one on his channel is the Maddox Marston thing, I believe. And the first thing he does is go, and I'm going to be doing that while drinking this scotch. So, and that was 2017. So he's sort of always been drinking. And it's caught up with him.
Yeah, you mentioned like Rekieta's kind of been interacting with that area of the internet for a while. He was a part of the Tonkasaw drama back in the day in like 2019, orbiting that area, and then like all of a sudden he started covering like a lot of internet court, big spectacles within the internet that were in court, like Kyle Rittenhouse and Johnny Depp, and his channel just blew up. Now,
well, Rittenhouse is what kind of made him. I mean, he was, and we're talking like 100,000 live concurrent.
Yeah, exactly. And what would you say was? I know LawTube was around during this, but was LawTube like would it grow into what it is now, into that genre because of Rekieta, or was he just a part of it?
Yeah, so I mean, I've watched kind of legal stuff online for quite a while, actually. The more going into this, the more I've realized how much I used to watch. And what it used to be is things like, I don't know, like a copyright lawyer or some particular branch, and they'd sit down and they'd go over a case file. What Nick did that was different was he'd take a trial, it would be live, and he'd get loads of different lawyers in of different disciplines to come and talk about it. And they discuss the legal details and give their analysis. So he sort of almost took the panel format that had grown out of blood sports and applied it to legal cases, especially controversial ones like Rittenhouse and Johnny Depp, which was just massively popular. And he's got, a lot of connections to things like the sector and Kiwi Farms. He knows all those people. He's done streams with Jim back in the day. And
Josh Moon as well, the Chris Chan stuff.
But he keeps good company.
Well, I mean, they've soured on him over time, I believe. It took a little time, I'll be honest. But now it is, Kiwi Farms are not fans.
I heard PPP say on Kino Casino that he thought that Rekieta would be the guy from that area of the internet to really break through and kind of like become a big figure outside of it, and you'd see him on like maybe Fox News with his own television show or something like that.
Yeah, Medica said the same thing.
Yeah, and it turns out like the fall from grace has happened, and he's become a joke of the community now. He's become the lolcow.
Or is he going through like a Britney Spears arc?
He's going to shave his head?
Well, he's just going to be crazy for a bit, and then he's going to become normal again, and then he's going to lose his shit again. Kind of like that.
I mean,
because I was thinking about it, right? People are like, "Oh my god, it's so sad. Look at this man. Look how he's abused his body and drank himself to death, and he's used the drugs, and he's lost all the weight, and he's stimming and stuff on the camera." And then you sit there and you think to yourself, "What the fuck is the point of getting famous?" Like, that's the whole point.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there are accusations of him being like a horrible father and stuff that come along with that.
That's the whole point. No, because legitimately, like, if you saw a guy from Metallica, right, and he's just sitting there completely out of his fucking mind, high as shit, people would look at him and be like, "That guy's cool," right? But you do that on a nerdy lawyer, and everybody goes, "Ooh, that guy needs help."
Yeah.
You're right. I think more homeless people should start making bands.
The Fentanyl 5. Jesus
Johnny and the Crackheads. Hi, it's me, Johnny, and I'm with the Crackheads. Can I have $5, please? Thank you, everybody. Good night. Doesn't even do a set, just ask for $5 and then
just leaves.
Yeah.
Plays bass and sucks cock behind the Walmart. Fantastic.
Yeah. Well, it is the stereotype of the cokehead lawyer, like Nick Rekieta is a lawyer and he's now addicted to coke. So like he does fit the
confirmed that it was coke?
I believe so. Beckett?
Yeah, so they I think it's important with this. I spoke to God of Law, who was the guy who was doing streamed his arraignment. And I'd say this, I think it's pretty important to say alleged in all of this when it's fucking lawyers.
Yeah.
But so allegedly it's cocaine. Other people are kind of drawing assertions from the fact that he apparently has track marks, and kind of the way he's looking. So people are theory crafting things like heroin and stuff like that as well.
See, I didn't think that.
Meth and
Yeah, I thought meth. When I saw that white chick, she screamed meth.
which
Yeah.
white chick? There were two.
The
His
blonde
wife and his
or
April.
Sorry, I didn't mean the white chick. I meant the blonde chick. Sorry, when I saw the blonde chick, I thought meth immediately.
Okay.
Looked like a meth head.
has there
To
been
be fair,
any?
his wife looks like a meth head too.
Did she
That's
look
what better. Did she look better before the meth?
Yeah, she was like hot.
That's a horrible drug.
Or is she hot now?
Or is she hot now because she'll
Oh,
give you
look,
a
oh, look,
blowy
look.
for 5?
Oh look, a woman with some serious fucking issues. Matt continues his lab arc. Nice to see.
Matt's like, look, she was a fucking a Hollywood 10 out of 10, right? But now she's an Arkansas 10. And that's my deal.
Now she belongs
That's
to
my
the trailer
jam.
park.
That's my jam, bro.
The doors have opened.
Mm.
Yeah, so like so what else is going on with all this? The Rekieta shit that's popping off.
So it's been kind of a long road. One thing that's kind of like perhaps led to the decline accelerating is the fact that Rekieta is also involved in a civil case. He's basically being sued because he called somebody a pedophile.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not going particularly well. The person he called a pedophile has also got quite a long internet history. Metica brought it to Rekieta's attention. Rekieta, like, I don't know, it's kind of been losing his shit over it. The case isn't going well. He, like, the particular judge that was overseeing it, Rekieta called them a bitch. That judge is now also overseeing his criminal case.
Oh,
So wait, so Rekieta would go on live stream and call the judge a bitch?
Yeah. Smart lawyer, dude.
That's not a very lawyer thing to do. That's something a lawyer would be like, hey, don't do that.
Okay, so
Is it possible Rekieta's not that good of a lawyer?
it's freedom
What?
of speech. What do you mean?
fuck.
Well, here's the question. Was he a good lawyer before the meth?
Well, okay, I want to read something to you. Rekieta law, because I think this occurred to me. People kind of view Rekieta as this really smart, intelligent, high operator person. Do you know he got content struck? Would you like to hear what his content strike response was? Because it was on Kiwi Farms, and I've got it in front of me.
Sure.
Yes.
NBC is a pile of human garbage. They actually are a threat to American freedom, and don't understand the basic elements of the Copyright Act. In fact, they use money and power to suppress the voices of the people they attempt to brainwash and spoon-feed their regurgitated bullshit on a daily basis. This is obviously a fair use of the original material. Any basic good faith fair use analysis would would show that this falls heavily in favor of me. I imagine NBC's lawyers are actually reading this material and masturbating over real legal work, just wishing they were involved like the cucks they are. This work is highly transformative. I have clearly commented and criticized the original work so thoroughly, both in form and function, that the new work is entirely distinct from the original. No one is watching my content would ever actually watch the NBC video in virgin form because NBC is a lying shit heap. My content adds the necessary expertise and background information for people to return an informed opinion on the matter presented, rather than be spoon-fed ass juice from a bunch of communists.
And this was to YouTube?
Yeah! This is him starting the legal process.
All right, Mr. Rekieta. Mr. Rekieta, is it true that you said in your response to YouTube copyright that they can drink anal juice? Yes.
You imagine if like
slam dunk.
You imagine a lawyer was like, "Hey, write this. All right, no, you'll be perfectly fine, and nothing. No, you'll be perfectly protected and fine. Write whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, you think about the
call
fucking
the N-word. Just call him the N-word. Fuck it.
Imagine taking that gamble. You take that gamble and you just hope your judge isn't a black chick.
He like writes, NBC loves Islam.
I just can't understand how it's kind of like swum under the radar how fucking retarded Rekieta actually is. Because the dude has like no impulse control. And yeah, he's meant to be sort of this smart legal person, very astute, but I mean, he was literally told that the guy who sued him is highly litigious, and then went to me and made defamatory statements towards him, which he was already suing another guy for. It's just like, why did you? What the fuck did you think was going to happen? What's wrong with you? So
yeah, he's not. I don't think he's that smart. Maybe it was the coke. Maybe he snorted a line before going on stream and calling the judge a bitch.
Well,
or maybe the judge was a bitch.
Well, during that stream, he disappeared for 40 minutes.
Yeah,
live on stream. He just fucks off. He's like, I'm just going to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Leaves for 40 minutes. Just fucks off. And then comes back looking more, energized.
You guys got it all wrong. He just went to go drink Coca-Cola, okay? He was a little, flustered in the mind. Yeah, he's a little flustered in the mind. So what's he do? He leaves stream and he just drinks a little Coke, smokes a cigarette maybe, and relaxes for about 45 minutes. Then he comes back.
What kind of interaction was he getting before the arrest? Was he getting good numbers or?
Oh no,
How many subs does this man have?
Actually, I don't know. I'll check. Hold on. Give me 2
Yeah, check for
I
me.
think it's a couple hundred.
I want to know if these are Coke numbers.
So Rekieta Law has 447,000 subscribers.
Nah, that ain't Coke numbers.
Yeah, okay, but he was getting 100K concurrent at his peak, so that is.
Okay, that's Coke numbers. That's Coke numbers.
If you actually,
but I'm saying like he's meth numbers. He's got meth numbers. That's supposed to be my theory.
Numbers.
Yeah, he's got meth numbers.
His fall off's been pretty dramatic. So
we have like puffing gasoline numbers.
We go back a year. He's like 30K views on a stream, and then you go back like a little bit further into last over a year, 66K. It's been a sort of decline over time from when he's sort of getting 100,000 views at least on a stream, and now on average I think he's probably getting 10 to 15K views on a stream, which is nothing. Just like fucking nothing.
Coke numbers.
It's not even now recording numbers. No, I'm kidding.
If he cuts his coke with something, you could use talcum powder.
I mean, this is.
I like the powder that old people use to powder their nuts.
Well, in some ways, I'd say it's almost like a tips to fall off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's got the numbers, but he can't command them.
Well, he's worse than Tipster because he brought the goth mommies in to fuck him with the snort coke, and
well, I mean, it could literally just be that he kind of lives and dies by what's going on out there. Mm-hmm. I mean, there hasn't really been unless he's going to cover the Trump trial, but I don't think that's as interesting as like Amber Heard or Kyle.
No, I don't. I disagree with you. Like LawTube, there are LawTubers out there who are still commanding those numbers. They're still doing really well. Like, it's really his content that's changed. Now he also does have a contract with Rumble, so he streams a lot over there. I'm only going by the YouTube numbers. I don't know what his Rumble numbers look like, but I still think there's been a significant fall off there. And I mean, he went through this whole arc where he's basically, I think someone described it as him manufacturing his midlife crisis. Like,
yeah, I think I saw a clip right there. I saw a clip where he said, "Yeah, I'm beginning my midlife crisis. I'm going to personally start my midlife crisis. It's not going to come upon me. I'm starting it right now," or something like that. I saw that.
Yeah, so that's kind of been keyed in. Now there's quite a lot of interesting parts of this. I want to just say this. I have seen more grown men cry during the last week of drama than I think I have during any other drama ever. It is actually kind of fucking pathetic. Like the amount of, these people are lawyers. So, okay. So firstly, Uncivil Law cried, who is one of Nick's friends, who's like, it's so sad. It's happened to Nick. He's not the person I knew anymore. I'm just like, Jesus Christ. Apparently he's very emotional. I've been getting backlash because I've been mean to him. Fuck it, I don't care.
Sounds like a nerd. Fuck him.
Yeah. So there's Uncivil Law. Another one was Steve Gosney, who I've been told that it didn't have his best showing, but he went onto the stream that was streaming the arraignment and started talking about his friend's friend who's died, called Jew Jacob.
Jew
Jacob.
Jiggle respect.
But like, okay, we shouldn't laugh. He's dead. But because there's a Miami Jacob and there's Jew Jacob, and Jew Jacob died recently, and Steve started talking about this and cried. I don't know why. It was very weird. It was very strange.
Oh, we lost Jew Jacob, guys. He's never coming back. He's in.
Tell you what. I imagine this guy's from America, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, he's from Israel. They're all Jew Jacobs there.
Like, if I'm just imagining a kid in fucking Nazi Germany with the name Jew Jacob and how long they would last.
2 days after being named Jew Jacob.
And Frank would be looking at me like, you fucking fool. You fool.
And then there's Aaron, April's husband, who cried on Alex Stein the other night. Now, Aaron, I think, is possibly one of the most interesting people in all of that.
I've been watching him from time to time since all this. I enjoy watching him talk about this stuff. I think it's really funny.
Here's my honest Aaron take. I think Aaron is a clout goblin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I think he's a massive clout goblin and a bit of a cunt.
Yeah. No, Beavers, this guy found out that his wife, who's fucking Nick Rekieta, was
this the guy that was on like the podcast thing?
Yeah,
and he gets the fucking text, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, no way. And he goes like, he pauses for a bit. He's like, no way. Yeah. He checks his phone. He's like, no, I'm checking the thing right now. Like, well, I guess that settles that lawsuit or something like that. For his
divorce paper. Looks like I can get those papers signed now, guys. That's the best line of this whole fucking thing.
So here's the thing with Aaron though, because like Aaron's done this whole thing where he's like PPP says this to him on Kino Casino. It's like, wow, in all these stories you sound like the hero, and he's like, no, I'm a piece of shit. He is a piece of shit. Like he brought his wife on to like his morning show, like scantily clad.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just been like using her for content. And he did put her in this position. Like, it's obvious why he was linking up with Rekieta. It was to promote his fucking YouTube show.
Oh yeah. Well, he's been like orbiting like Chrissy Mayer and those guys for a while, right? So he
didn't tell his wife to use meth. What do you mean? She chose to do meth.
Beavers, nobody has said meth. Like, why do you keep going back to meth?
Because in my head canon, it's meth.
It's alleged meth.
They look like it's alleged meth.
Can you stop accusing fucking lawyers of doing meth? When no...
What do you mean? He's gonna go to jail, bro. I'm not getting sued. Nick Rekieta used meth. Allegedly.
Yeah, you fucking pussy. All right. No, Aaron's been like orbiting all these like people trying to get in for a while, and I think he's definitely taking advantage of the situation. Which in a way, yeah, he's definitely a shitty person, but there's a part of me that like can't blame him because he's making a lot of money on these streams because people are donating like crazy. And his podcasts are just him. It's just every time I tune into his podcast, it's just him reading donations. That's all it is. It's just
Oh
him
fuck!
reading.
I thought you were about to transition into a
Yeah,
bad
I
with
did
money.
too. I was like, you're fumbling this so bad. This is awful.
What?
Worst bad with money ever.
Are we even there yet? I don't think we're there yet.
No, but I thought that's what you had the voice, you know, whenever you get that voice like you're trying to do the transition. That's what it sounded like.
But I mean, at the end of the day, right? As bad as it was that he used his wife for content and all of that, right? At the end of the day, the kids are better off because her meth head ass is going to jail, right? And he's
Well,
going to
she's
get the
getting
kids.
out. She's getting out, right?
So April was released with no
Allegedly, okay. I have to add a big allegedly in front of everything I say here, right? Because I thought she was in jail or she was going to go
No,
to jail,
she
and
got
apparently
out.
she's out.
Okay.
So she was allegedly in jail. I apologize,
She
ma'am.
was arrested. She was arrested, and then she got out like the next day.
So April. Okay, so Rekieta and his wife, along with April, were arrested when the police broke down his door.
Yeah.
And we'll get to fucking how this kind of got to this point in a minute, because it's more important, I guess. They were all arrested, and the next day they had arraignments. Now, Nick decided that he was going to represent both April and his wife, but April had already been released. Now, currently, April has no charges against her. One of the lawyers said to me that I think it was to me like that they've got no charges yet because they might get charged in the future. You never know. But
you think that maybe she like rolled over?
Well, this is the thought process. Did she
rolled
get
over
released
for the
because-
cops so she could get out early?
Well, yeah, this is the thing. Like, did she just like kind of go, yeah, I'll tell you whatever you want, or did they have? Or did they not really have enough to hold her? Because she's down as a guest in the house. So whether they can go, well, that's your. They can't really hold her on the firearms stuff apparently, and they can't prove the drugs were hers.
It's kind of like if you were sleeping on a drug dealer's couch and that gets raided. Usually, the guy sleeping on the couch, if he has nothing to do with the drug dealer, gets off. Usually, sometimes, you know.
Matt, did you ever fall asleep on a drug dealer's couch?
No, but I know some who have. I know some.
Never fall asleep on a drug dealer's couch.
Yeah,
but if you do, you should be okay. Matt Pitt, 2024.
God. This is not a legal podcast. I keep saying I'm not a lawyer just because not that it makes much difference. The legal advice given by some of these people is fucking ridiculous. Actually, let's talk about that. So some of the Nick Rekieta sweepers, like Barnes, for example, have lost their fucking mind. They're arguing it's a constitutional issue, and that Nick's done like not nothing wrong, but like the warrant doesn't hold water. They'll never like.
Yeah, I got his tweets right here. Details from Rekieta's case gets worse from a constitutional perspective. Basically, 4 church members who were mad Rekieta walked out of sermons, got the pastor Rekieta made fun of, Rekieta made fun of to make a complaint of child neglect and possible drug use. That's not a 4 THA compliant probable cause. The Rekieta search warrant is a joke. Basically, a local cop's only investigation was to watch social media, listen to gossip, and medically diagnose Rekieta from an isolated video to get a search warrant. That is not 4 THA probable cause. Those are the tweets that I read.
To be clear, basically everyone thinks Barnes has lost his fucking mind. There was almost no one other than like the hardest sweepers who are on Barnes' side. Most of the other lawyers are like, yeah, this warrant is pretty watertight. And Barnes himself doesn't have a particularly good reputation.
No, maybe Barnes is getting hired by Rekieta. maybe he's Rekieta's lawyer.
Well, I mean, I one of the things that shocks me is like, again, you're surrounded by legal experts, and this is what happens to you. Like, it's just fucking the irony of this is just painful.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, was what makes it so fascinating. It's I keep comparing it to like, I don't know, it's like Jim Sterling. Jim Sterling kind of got got really big calling out bad game developers. It's like if he made a game and then started like acting like a shitty get.
Isn't he a lady now?
Oh fuck yeah, no, they them. I can't remember what Sterling's pronouns are.
Why does
I'll be
every
honest with
game developer change their gender?
you. I don't know.
I don't know. But I remember I used to see him on YouTube, and I used to be like, I'm not clicking on that. That looks like an alt-right video. Because he always used to stand on like a podium and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was the whole bit.
And then I clicked on it one day and he had tits, and I was like, wow, this took a turn.
Fuck's sake.
So, of the Rekieta camp, I've seen Dick Masterson and Vito, Andy Signor, and then like some lawyers. Really, those are the ones I really only see defending Rekieta.
Most are kind of dipping. The more information that comes out. So Rekieta's on, I believe, 3 charges. One's a felony, 2 are misdemeanors. Like the accusation was drugs, which is the felony. Like having firearms around the house, which was for an AR underneath the bed with apparently, I believe, spent shell casings. And the last one is for child neglect.
Yeah.
So those are the 3 things. They have been bonded. Now, there's 2 different bonds. I believe, from what I've seen. Rekieta has just paid a bond so he can still drink and do everything. It's like unconditional, from what I can see. And then there is like his wife's bond, which is not paid for. It's just I won't do any more drugs or alcohol.
Yeah.
So they're both out now as well. Now, the arraignment was fucking wild, by the way. I don't know if you've seen
I love
the
that.
arraignment.
I
Dude,
loved it so much.
The clips of that were insane.
It was incredible.
Boop, 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 boop. And just like every 5 seconds. Boop, boop.
Yeah. Well,
The
people
judge's
were
like, can you get that to shut off, please? Hey,
well, people were coming in and being like, Nick Rekieta should kill himself,
Yeah.
saying slurs and stuff.
Yeah, that was great.
I said to God of Law, can you imagine if you were just there for like a general charge? Like you'd been caught drink driving or something. I don't fucking know. And you go to arraignment and like you sat down, okay, I just need to get through this. And then you see like hundreds of people joining this to call some dude a faggot. Like
Dude, the funniest part is I watched a little bit of DSP reacting to it, and DSP actually made some really good points. He was like, why can't they control this? It's literally the government, the law. Like, how do they not have ways to like lock these people out and shut off the fucking sound that comes on? Like, why do they not have, like, why are they so bad at this? And like I really thought that was a good point. Like,
why are we still doing things over Zoom?
well, they need Lio convoy. They need good moderation.
I think it was done over Zoom because the judge didn't want to go into court. I think they can do that.
Yeah,
now.
but COVID's over, so now we're just all fucking lazy.
Yeah, now we're all we're all
imagine you go back to the 80s and you show someone like, this is 40 years in America. Like, do it yourself. Like, what are you doing?
Well, it's really interesting as well. The clerk asked the judge, like, do you want the next one to be in person? And the judge is like, yes.
I'm going right now. I'm getting in the car right now. Let's get in there.
we're not doing this over Zoom again. Fuck this shit. But yeah, no, it's a fucking complete mess. I don't know what happens from here. So whether he serves any prison time now, I think a lot depends on how he acts and what the deals look like. Obviously, these are drug charges, and this is like first offense. Lawyers being involved in drug stuff isn't unique. It seems to be a pretty common occurrence in America, I guess. Again, going on what other lawyers have said. So the question is now, what happens? And it's likely that a couple of things are going to hit. Firstly, they're going to look at building the case against him. And the question is, will he do any prison time? Now, the average for charges like this apparently is 12 to 122 months. Whether he does any jail time at all, I think, is very dependent on whether there are plea deals. How
it gets that.
people are.
Wait, but the judge is that lady that he called a bitch?
The man.
The man?
It's a woman. It's a woman.
It's a woman?
Fisher's a woman, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's going away for at least a year.
Well, the other thing is that his kids are like living with his parents, I believe. Whether they get the rights back to the kids is questionable. I mean, they'll have to like fully go through rehab, show themselves to be clean, everything else before they get access to the kids back.
Yeah.
Which is actually pretty major.
I want to ask you this: in America, right, is using drugs illegal or only possession?
It's like a bear shit in the wood, or like if a tree falls in the woods. Yes, it is
No.
illegal, but you have to be caught.
No.
doing it.
Okay, because like I can. Yeah, it's illegal for me to have the drugs, right? But once I've ingested them, it's not illegal anymore,
No, it's illegal.
right?
If you can,
Yeah.
if you're under
Okay.
the influence of like cocaine, meth, or anything.
If I was
it can be
driving
illegal.
or something like that, but if I'm
No,
just
if you're
sitting in my
walking down the
house-
street like tweaking out, a cop can arrest.
Yeah.
So the thing about it is I have a 900 IQ plan for that judge, right?
Jesus fucking
They,
Christ.
they need to do a piss test on Rekieta as soon as he shows up to represent himself. Because either he's going to go to rehab and he's going to get clean and he's not going to need the drugs to get through stressful situations, etc. Or he's going to show up to that court case drunk and high.
I
then you
don't.
got it.
Okay, I don't think Rekieta is going to rehab. I don't think he's going to rehab, and the reason I don't think he's going to rehab is because of the leaked messages
Thank you.
that came
Yeah,
out.
I was waiting for transition into. Yeah, so a lawyer. There was a group chat of a bunch of lawyers and people closer to Nick Rekieta or content creators, and Rekieta was in that group chat, interacting and telling his side of the story. While who was the one who was streaming? Who was the lawyer on stream back then?
Oh, do you mean who's the person who's got like their names? Okay. Oh, that was Legal Minds, I think.
Yeah, Legal Minds was like literally streaming as it was happening, and he was telling Rekieta to like he was basically being like, "This dude needs to shut the fuck up. He shouldn't be in these group chats." And eventually, because he was like, "These people are clout hungry. They're gonna leak it," and then someone eventually leaked it, and we got Rekieta in the group chat saying, "Cool, I'm literally talking about a bullshit neglect report from a specifically vindictive person that is quite literally the opposite of truth. I'm not talking about anything else at all. I'm not saying anything else in here. Talk to me in DM. Oh, and no guns were ever discharged in this home. I don't even own a 22. I haven't fired any of my guns since moving from my other home to here. Been about 5 years. And all of them were locked, handguns in a safe. AR had a lock through the receiver. My dad was helping with the driving the other day for our kids' education, extracurricular activities. He tallied it up 80 miles a day on average. I don't care what people think about almost anything. The kid shit is bullshit. I'm pretty sure I know who reported that, and they have specific animus towards me. The first activity I missed for my kids was the day I was in jail. Shockingly, not pulled over, no cited for a DUI, ever, never even questioned for DUI, ever. Anyway, whatever issues exist for me, and I'm not admitting to shit during my case, obviously, I figured a friend of mine would maybe realize that my children have never been neglected or in danger, but I guess the small courtesy is too much. And then there's some interaction here. Someone said, is that driving blasted out of your mind like the report says? And he says, no, you fucking idiot. No one sees me drive. And then someone says, I know it's hard to see someone when they're driving 88 miles per hour 4 hours after a bender. Rekieta says, again, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you referring to a speeding ticket? Do you know what track marks are, retard? I've never done an IV drug in my life. The person says, you're doing cocaine at 8 a.m. with your kids watching cartoons in the living room. And Rekieta says, what the fuck are you talking about? 8 a.m., homie. 8 a.m., homie. I'm usually driving home at 8 a.m. and about
That's
to
how
go to
lawyers
sleep.
talk, Matt.
If you think my kids went hungry or were neglected, unalive yourself. I don't know what to believe. You've become, or this person says, I don't know what to believe. You become a junkie, and they're not the most honest people out there. Rekieta says, I've been on stream with you where you were too intoxicated to read super chats for hours. I never thought your kids went hungry. And the person says, I stopped that because it was getting bad. You need to admit you have a problem. And Rekieta says, quote unquote, become a junkie. Wow. All right. Thanks. And that's
do you know who the person he's talking to is?
I want to say it was Yellow Flash.
It's Yellow Flash.
Yeah. I heard it was Yellow Flash, which that's pretty.
So yeah. Firstly, the gun thing's really weird. Now, again, I'm sort of getting this second hand. I don't know if this is true. But apparently on another stream, he was saying that he'd used his firearms to shoot raccoons. That's what I've heard through the grapevine. So if that is true, then the question is, well, are you lying about? Are you lying about firing guns at raccoons, or are you lying about the fact you've never discharged the firearms? It just seems a bit fucking weird.
It's probably going to turn into, I never discharged that firearm. I discharged this one. That's not the one I was talking about. Or something like that, probably, is what he's going to try to do.
Yeah, I just think the whole thing's, I don't know. It's sad, and people are obviously sad for him. But, you know, my take is this. I think Rekieta has always been this person. I think that he was a nerd all through college. His wife was the first person he ever had a relationship with. He has always wanted to party. He has always wanted to be the cool drunk person, and he finally got that opportunity. That's where he's at now, and he is taking full advantage of it.
What's the point of getting famous? Like I said at the beginning.
If you can't take advantage.
Exactly.
Dude, I don't know. If I was famous, I'd just kind of I'd probably just play Skyrim.
Yo, can I tell you what was a mindfuck? Just a quick segue, right? Quick little segue. So I was looking up, the band Good Charlotte?
Yeah.
Right, you know them? So, they've got the two identical twin brothers, like the lead singer and the guitarist?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Do you know that the guitarist... It's a sign of the times, I'm telling you. The guitarist in 2005, I want to say? 2005, was dating, he was 26 or something at the time, and he was dating a 16-year-old Hillary Duff.
Oh, yeah.
Good for him.
Was that the age range at that? I know Wilder Valderramas from the 70s show. He was in his 20s, and he was dating an underage Lindsay Lohan, I think.
Yeah, weird shit. Weird to see it. Nowadays, at least.
All right. Cool.
Anyway, that was my segue. I was just thinking about that.
To what?
I don't know. I read it earlier. It's an interesting fact that I thought
that wasn't a segue to anything.
That was a derailment.
Okay, it was a derailment. Sorry, I didn't use the right term. I derailed for a second.
Well, Drake was talking to
Also,
11 from Stranger Things, and she was 12.
You Americans, right? So this is what
Here
caught
we go.
my mind when you were talking about the gun. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I was under the impression that if you own a firearm, aren't you supposed to clean that thing once a month or some shit? You're supposed to clean it regularly?
No.
I've never
people
you have to do so.
Away.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I thought you had to clean them.
No.
I don't think so. Maybe some maybe a AR-15 or something. I don't know, but a rifle or a shotgun. I think you have to clean it.
Yeah, I feel like some people just put away guns for years and never touch them.
Doesn't seem like a good idea.
What's the worst that could happen?
I have a question for Beckett. You interviewed a lawyer, right?
I did.
There's this thing in America called the First Offenders Act, and I know nothing about law, but I was just wondering, did you ask that lawyer, would this apply to this case if Rekieta wasn't an offender?
I didn't. But okay, so one of the things that seems to be becoming clear is it depends on things like minimum sentencing guidelines. It depends a lot on kind of what the prosecutors want to get out of this. Now, there's things that lawyers seem to be saying with a bit more surety, he's not going to lose his license, for example. He'll likely be suspended. Those kind of things. I think part of the problem is that a lot of people don't want to kind of cast too much of their opinions towards it if they're not sweeping, because I think they're starting to realize that this is going to be one of those big trials that they need to that they'll be going over in detail.
I just wonder, as someone who doesn't know law at all, if the First Offenders Act could help Rekieta in this situation, because the First Offender Act, I'll just Google it so I don't sound like a full retard.
I was doing the same thing.
Act. The First Offenders Act allows individuals who have not previously been convicted of most types of felony charges to plead guilty or nolo contendere without being convicted. This can include first-time white-collar offenders and some non-violent sex offender laws. Let me make sure. First Offenders Act. He's in Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
Is there? I'm not seeing that. So there might not be even a First Offenders Act in Minnesota. So I'm not seeing anything with a quick Google search for First Offenders Act in Minnesota. So it might not even matter. So there you go. All right. Well, I guess that answers the question.
Do you think if he doesn't go to jail and all this dies down, do you think his numbers will be impacted?
I think his numbers will improve.
His numbers will improve for a little while. His first stream back is going to be huge.
Well, yeah, I know that. Long term.
Probably.
Okay. I think the recovery of his channel will be very, very difficult. This goes one of two ways. This is either a kind of like a community divide linchpin kind of thing, where certain people will be like, well, Nick was only attacked by the government because the Biden administration wanted to fucking destroy him. And then there'll be people who are like, well, we actually believe this guy was a decent human being and he wasn't. So fuck him. The thing is, his numbers have already suffered massively. The thing people knew him for and watched him for, he doesn't really do anymore. He essentially covers like drama and random conversations at this point. He just chats shit. And the audience for that, you know, there's definitely an audience for that because we do that, but we're not getting 100,000 fucking concurrent for doing it.
Not
You
yet.
know? No, not yet.
One day.
Which one of us is going to go insane and have a drug addiction?
All of us.
That already happened.
Matt.
I already lived through that.
Yeah, he did that right. That's how he knows about the drug dealer couch. But for legal purposes, he has to say it was a friend.
You know,
that random guy's car he got into.
No, I never slept on a drug dealer's couch. I got the fuck out of there as soon as possible. I did bring in a little bit of information from my knowledge as a former drug addict. A lot of people were saying that Rekieta may have been selling the cocaine to people. And a lot of times when you're rich, you will just buy a bunch of drugs to hoard for yourself and maybe the people around you. So you don't have to go out like every other day to your dealer to get more. Because the dealer, A, might run out, and B, the dealer is probably shady because he sells coke. So you risk a lot going out every other day. So a lot of times rich people will just hoard a bunch of it and keep it in a safe or something. And
Rekieta doesn't like it. Rekieta doesn't look like the type to sell cocaine.
I imagine he definitely like in a way you can distribute by just giving it out to your peers. That could be considered distribution if you have a bunch of drugs. So he definitely could get caught up in a distribution charge. But yeah, I don't think he sold for profit, if you will. So yeah.
He seems like the type of guy that would organize to go sell his coke and they get stuck up and they'd steal his coke from him.
Yeah, and then he would be bad with money. Those who are also bad with money: Ghosty, Grizzly Bear, 1996, K-Hudcast, Latchkey Goth Boy, Jada with a Y, Ringtail, Stefan Corbino, Joe Vile, Shaniqua Salad, Echo of Tragedy, Brooke A, Fresh Brewski, Reynolds Hughes, and Mame. If you want to be bad with money, you can pay $14.99 a month to get your name set after every podcast and every live stream. If you can't afford that, you have the Bieber Lover. $9.99 a month gets you into priority calls, pulled in early, as well as early access to now recording episodes and podcast episodes. And then we have the $4.99 is the Stumpy, access to paywalled text and VCs in the Discord server, access to now recording membership, live stream membership episodes. And those are our membership tiers. Beckett, anything else did you want to talk about while we were talking about Rekieta? Did we miss anything?
No, everything said here is an opinion, and for comedic purposes, please don't sue us.
Oh, do you think we'll just end it with this? Do you think Rekieta is going to get jail
time? Do you know what? Unironically, I hope not. But I think it is. I think it's possible, depending of if somebody. I'll say this. I think that if this gets wider attention, if we start seeing things televised, if we start seeing things like even if it's like through YouTube or something, if it gets picked up in kind of like at the moment it's in like local press, but if it gets picked up in kind of like state press and like more general press, it becomes more of a story. Big YouTuber, drug fall. I think then we might see something harsher because they want to make an example. And that's my personal opinion as a non-lawyer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go.
Well,
I
if
think-
you work for national media and you watch this podcast, pick up the story. Let's get
All
this
right, Chad.
allegedly dangerous man off of the streets.
Be sure to call your local news station, give them the tip. Maybe they'll pay you. Who knows? All right.
Okay. All right. Cool.
And include the tagline, don't do
Hashtag
meth.
now recording.
Stay in
Oh.
school.
I think I don't think Rekieta's going to do any time. I think he'll get
meth.
off with like probation.
Yeah,
but
I
the
think
thing with
that's more likely.
the thing with the kids is going to be an issue. Sure. All right. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Keep your ears and eyes peeled for new live streams popping off at any point. And remember, now recording is always recording. Have a good one, guys.
Rekieta.
Now recording is always doing coke.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.